Boom! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stop pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater. Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the futures, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profit. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be Hawkish. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my same making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Profits. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Here, make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Here, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Here, make profits.
That TTG money gang, we some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everyone? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you didn't know, we were a Benzinga FinTech Awards finalist for Best Data Analysis Tool in 2023, and we are currently the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university-level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, and individual mentorship and coaching on stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade, we also cover long-term investing. There is literally something for everybody here at True Trading Group. You see, we take that university level of curriculum and we pair it with 8 full-time trading moderators that are with you each and every single day from pre-market into the close. We're not gone after an hour and you'll have to fend for yourself. We'll be with you the whole day, sharing our screen, talking to you through a mic talking you through our mics, answering questions, providing all of our entries, our exits, and of course, real-time analysis throughout the day. You also get access to our members, the most educated, helpful, supportive, and successful community of traders that you're ever going to find. Not to mention, of course, the real-time trade alerts that the moderators and myself send out that we have been able to collectively as a group maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80%, now going on roughly the last 4 years. You're wondering why I should listen to anything it is that we discuss on this channel. It's because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I didn't figure it out by watching YouTube videos or sitting in Discord chats. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, where they had me go through a training program before they let me touch even $1 of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the big stock market crash, but it was also the same year I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now, fast forward, and I'm the co-founder and the head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 8 professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We actually have over 10,000 members in 115 different countries, truly a global community here at True Trading Group. So if you are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live on this channel where myself, other TeachD mods, and some special guests will drop golden nuggets to give you free lessons, education, trade ideas, commentary that can help you guys all become better traders. So if you've not yet done so, smash that like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams. What a day. What a day. What a day. Well, folks, one of the biggest intraday reversals that we have seen in a very long time. We came into the day today actually with a pretty sizable gap up. And right around 2 o'clock, right around 1:30, that all changed. And you can see, I'll zoom this in here. That's what the market looked like today. That looked like one hell of a strong day, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like the market was having a really nice, beautiful, strong day? Had this big gap up, right? Big gap up after jobless claims data. And then we just kind of trade sideways and we go up here, make a new high of the day. And it seems like everything is all sunshine and rainbows. And then that happened. And you're probably wondering what the hell happened? Why did the markets completely reverse what seemed like out of nowhere? Was there a piece of economic data that came out? No. But what you did have was 2 catalysts combining that actually kind of hit the wire right around the same time frame that really got this market kind of shaken up. Now, if you guys have been following my YouTube channel for the last, couple of days, you'll know that I have been telling you guys that I believed that my target for the market was right here. So this is a box that I've been drawing for you. And I told you guys, I think we're going to get here before we get up here, right? So these are the zones that I had drawn for everybody over the last couple of trading days. And I said to you guys that I believe that we were going to start off the first week of April in the red with a pullback. We've had 5 consecutive green months off that October bottom, November, December, January, February, March, 5 green months in a row. The markets really felt like markets were a bit extended, and markets were very crowded to the upside. And it just felt like the markets were waiting for just anything to just give you a little bit of a pullback. But every single piece of economic data, every single catalyst that you were going to get was not enough to really break down that trend. And once you made it past the Fed meeting, which was a couple of weeks ago, once you made it past the Fed meeting, it was hard for the market to really find a reason to actually begin to sell itself off and to give you a real meaningful pullback. Okay, you had your first meaningful pullback on Tuesday when you had a gap down from Monday into Tuesday's action. That was the first meaningful pullback that we've had in a little while. Today now being the most significant of all. Okay, so you guys can see massive wipeout engulfing candle today, just taking out 2 weeks worth of consolidation, wiping that out in just one day and in one candle. Obviously a very bearish candle today, high volume, huge range. And we have broken now back underneath that previous all-time high. And now I think that becomes your new level of resistance. There is that previous all-time high. You broke above it. It did hold support on the gap down, and then you wiped that level out today. So now I would look for any bounce attempt, and I look for that zone to now act as an area of resistance. And my target is here, right? So like I said, here's the target that I'm looking for. I'm looking for that 50-day moving average test. I tested this it's like 508.5. And oops, I didn't mean to delete that. Let me draw that back for you guys. Don't worry, I'm going to explain to you guys why the markets did what it did today. All right, and then we'll talk about where we kind of go from here. A huge day for people inside of True Trading Group today, man. I think we had like 62 or 64% of all of the members made money today. And that's, I think, only 20% lost money. And you have like 11% did not trade, and like 6%, whatever the math works out to be, 6% like broke even. Sometimes we'll survey our members and we'll take polls and just to see how everyone's doing during the day. And that's kind of this is the area that I'm looking at, right? It was a big day for a bunch of people. We have a couple of triple-digit gains on some swing trades, Okta, Palo Alto, just some really great monster trades by Shai and some of the other mods inside of True Trading that members were able to capitalize on. Some really great action today also in futures. We had a couple of nice little trades there in the futures program. That is at True Trading Group. We trade everything. Like I said, we trade stocks, we trade options, we trade futures. There's literally something for everybody. We day trade, we swing trade. Remember, there's 8 other professional trading mods. I'm not the only person that's in there. We all have different styles. We all have different strategies. Some of us trade stocks, some trade options, some trade futures, some day trade, some swing trade, some do both. Right. So there's a lot of variety for people to get trade alerts and analysis and everything else from. But here's the support level that I'm looking at. So now you guys can see this little triple bottom here. So there's a bottom right there on March 6th. There's a bottom there on March 11th. And there's a bottom there on March 15th. Now, see this dark blue line? That's the 50-day moving average. That dark blue line is a 50-day moving average. Okay? 50-day moving average, right? I think that this moving average is working its way up to line up right here with this support level. And that, my friends, is, in my opinion, just a beautiful spot for the markets to just rest on. I think it's a beautiful spot for us to just rest on. I'm looking for us to get down towards that 508, test that level, and then I think the markets will try to bounce from there and then trade back within this period of consolidation that was there for the end of February and then early March. I think that period of consolidation then holds. Okay. You have some really important catalysts that are coming up, and we've got to talk about this because the question becomes, is this just a blip on the radar? Is it just this minor little pullback? Or is this the start of something bigger? Is this the start of a multi-month sell-off that you could experience over the next couple of months? Or is this just nothing goes up in a straight line? We were just at all-time highs. It's a blip on the radar. It's a little bit of a technical profit-taking type of day. Nothing really to really get nothing really to get us, nothing to get bent out of shape over. And that answer isn't out there in a safe somewhere. Like, I think this is the part where a lot of inexperienced traders really get this part wrong when they, will go and they'll, like, you have like someone that has no idea what they're doing and they go to a trader that's been doing it for like 20 years and they're like, oh, well, you don't know what you're doing because you can't predict what's going to happen. I'm telling you now that there's not an answer in a safe that, like, there's not a right answer. It depends on what's going to happen with the series of catalysts that you have coming up here over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to explain to you what those catalysts are, and then we'll talk about what happened today. You have your CPI number on Wednesday. The CPI number that you're going to get on Wednesday, I think, is very, very important. You've already had 2 consecutive hotter than expected inflation numbers for January and February, and it was explained into dismissal by seasonality. It's just a little bump in the road. The Fed told us, we don't think this changes the trajectory of inflation, anything like that. We think, inflation is still headed to the downside. But if you get 3 months in a row of a hotter print, I think it's going to be pretty hard to argue that it's just a little blip on the radar. And now you're going to start to think about, well, is inflation actually now accelerating? Oil is ripping. Brent hit $90 a barrel today. Okay, I've been telling you guys about oil for the last couple of days on my live stream. Not enough people are talking about oil until literally today. You start hearing people on CNBC and everywhere else, all these other news outlets talking about oil ripping higher. Oil going to $100 a barrel or higher is not good. That would be bad. And we're getting closer and closer and closer to a second oil price shock in just as many years. I do not think that the economy will be able to handle 2 oil price shocks. We've already had one in 2022. Oil shot to like $115, $120 a barrel. If you got something like that this time around, with interest rates where they are, with the economy where they are, with inflation and prices where they are, what that shock in oil prices would do to the rest of the inflation pipeline is not good. and getting oil to go to $115 or $120 a barrel, it's possible. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but it's possible. And how could that happen? Well, an escalation of tensions and war in the Middle East would absolutely help fuel that rally. And it's part of the reason why the market sold off today. There was a lot of headlines today that were coming out about Israel and Iran. If Israel and Iran, obviously you guys saw it I think it was over the weekend or it was over the last couple of days, there was an airstrike on an Iranian consulate in Syria. Some of your top Iranian Revolutionary Guard military members were killed, and Iran is saying that there's going to be a retaliation. It is imminent. It is not something that they're considering. It's something they've already made up their mind about. There's going to be a retaliation attack on Israel for what happened to the Iranian consulate in Syria. Now, Israel put all of their embassies on high alert. They canceled all military leave. So military leave, no military leave. Everybody had to be ready to report to duty in the anticipation of an escalation in events between Israel and Iran. If that were to happen, I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm saying if that was to happen, that could be another catalyst to push the price of oil higher. It'll also further disrupt shipping routes in the Middle East. And if you further disrupt shipping routes in the Middle East, which you've already have a disaster in the Strait of Hormuz, if you further disrupt shipping routes in the Middle East, that adds to shipping and freight costs, which further pushes inflation higher. If that happens, that pushes oil prices higher. If oil prices move higher, that pushes inflation and other prices and other pipeline throughout the economy. Those prices also get pushed higher. That then puts the Fed in a very difficult position because inflation will be starting to accelerate, and the Fed's going to say there is absolutely no possible way that we can cut rates after inflation is hotter than expected 3 months in a row. Forget about cutting rates. We might have to think about, do we raise rates another quarter point? If that conversation starts to be had, this market is nowhere near ready for the possibility of another rate hike. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me make myself very clear. I don't believe you're going to get another rate hike. I said that a long time ago that I think the Fed's done raising rates. Even if inflation begins to accelerate, I don't think the Fed raises. I think they just stay where they are for an extended period of time. And then that takes me to catalyst number 2 from what happened today. Catalyst number 1 was the possibility of escalation between Israel and Iran. That was catalyst number 1. What was catalyst number 2? You had a couple of Fed members today literally say it is possible that we don't cut rates at all this year. Now, this statement should not have come as this much of a surprise, because all they said was, if inflation stops coming down, we might not cut rates at all this year. Duh. I mean, did anybody think that if inflation stays exactly where it is or moves higher, that the Fed was still going to cut rates? I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that's pretty much common sense. And I got to be completely honest with you. I don't think that this move in the market was really all about the Fed might not cut rates at all this year. And let me explain to you why I don't think that's the case. The Fed futures, the Fed swaps, the probability of rate cuts did not go down. The probability of rate cuts in the Fed swaps actually very, very slightly ticked higher. If the market sold off today because its main concern was maybe there's not a single rate cut this year, you should have seen the probability of a rate cut in June go down. And you should have seen it go down a lot. And then you should have seen the probability of July's rate cut also go down. Then you should have seen the probability of a September cut also go down. If the market was worried that that was really a possibility, if the market really believed they may not get a single rate cut, you should have seen those probabilities go down. The other thing you should have seen happen is you should have seen the 2-year Treasury yield and the 10-year Treasury yield move higher. It did not. It actually very slightly moved down. That is why I don't think that the market is saying we believe that there might not be any rate cuts this year. What I do think happened is the market was waiting for a reason to pull back. People are sitting on massive gains, huge profits, and nobody had a reason to sell yet. And I just think this market was just waiting for a reason to sell. People were waiting for a reason to say that rally to start the year was a lot of fun. Let's not be pigs. Let's take some profit off the table. And right around the same time, it all happened within a window of about 30 minutes. So you started to get these headlines about escalation between Iran and Israel, and Iran saying that a retaliatory attack is imminent, Israel putting all of their embassies and their consulate buildings on high alert, calling back all military leave for people in anticipation of this escalation. All of that started happening at the same time that Fed member Kashkari said, well, actually, if inflation goes sideways here, we might not cut at all this year. And all of that happened within about 30 minutes. And I think it was just like the market said, you know what? All right, enough, right? Enough. And I think it was just, here comes the pull. And then it's like, okay, let's start taking some profit, right? Let's start taking some profit, because God forbid if there is an escalation in the Middle East, that could send oil over 100. And I am telling you now, I said this to you yesterday. I talked to you guys the last couple of days about oil and how not enough people were talking about the price of oil moving higher. If oil goes over $100 a barrel, 110, 115, 120, I do not think this economy can handle that. I do believe you will see a recession probably by 2025 if you got an oil price shock again this year after getting an oil price shock in 2022. I do not think, I can't even remember a time in my investing and trading life that you had 2 oil price shocks within a 3-year window. So I think that would be just way too much. I think that would push prices too high, and the consumer's already starting to slow down. You've heard from companies like Ulta Beauty talking about light guidance. You heard from Lululemon talking about light guidance. You heard from Nike talking about light guidance, about expecting slowdowns in the consumer. You had another company today. Was it I can't remember the ticker symbol. Oh, Lamb Weston. That was Lamb Weston. Yeah, Lamb Weston. So Lamb Weston, this is consumer to say, this is packaged goods, right? Lamb Weston down 20% today, right? Down 20% today. Why? They also expected soft consumer and weak guidance going forward. Okay. So now you have here, Lamb Weston, consumer down 19%. Ulta, stock got clobbered yesterday, right? Because they missed guidance. Lululemon, are you kidding me? Lululemon was $480 before they reported earnings. It's at $356. Nike was at 101. Now it's 89. These stocks are getting their heads taken off because they're missing on guidance. And guess what else you also have? Earnings start next week. You start earnings season next week with the banks. And after the banks, you start to roll on into some of the big tech names and some of those more consumer names where we're going to get to feel for what's going on with the consumer. But so far, when you get brands like Lululemon, like Nike, like Ulta, these are not just fly-by-night brands. These are brands that have tremendous customer loyalty and customers that are repeat buyers. These aren't large consumer electronics where once you buy a TV, you don't need another TV for several years. These are products that people can buy each and every single month, and they continue to go back. For these companies to tell you that they're missing on their guidance, to me, tells you something about the consumer. And the consumer is beginning to pull back. Now, it's not anything of like, oh my God, the consumer is falling apart. The consumer is not falling apart. GDP was actually perfectly fine for Q1. It was 2.8%. That's actually beautifully trend growth. The consumers are still spending money. They're still traveling. They're just picking and choosing where they're spending money. They're still spending money on vacations. They're still spending money on flights. They're still spending money on cruises, but they're starting to pull back in some of these other consumer discretionary areas, which is normal. It shows you that the consumer is getting tired and that this massive buying spree that we've seen over the last couple of years is now coming back to reality. But while the consumer pulls back, it can't handle $5 gas. Can't handle $5 gas. $6 gas. I don't think the consumer is going to be able to handle that, because the last time that gas was $6 a gallon, prices in the rest of the economy were not where they are now. Prices are significantly higher for car insurance, health insurance, eggs, cheese, coffee, lumber, copper, all these other commodities. Actually, I don't know. Lumber actually might have been higher. I'm not sure about the lumber one, but all of the prices for all of these other goods and products and services were lower when gas was $6 a gallon. Now those prices are all higher and gas has come back down. At least where I live, gas is around like $3.20, something like that a gallon, right? I know there's different prices in different parts of the country. If you're in Hawaii, if you're in California, it's much higher. I get it, right? But I'm talking just generally speaking around the country. If gas were to go back to $6 a gallon and you've got all of these other costs that are so much higher now, I think that's going to be the final straw for the consumer. I think that's a final straw for the consumer. So that's why I've been talking about oil. That's why I don't think it's gotten enough attention. It started getting attention today, but it only got attention today because of what Iran was saying. And once you heard about what Iran was saying, then all of a sudden people started to have the conversation about oil. But oil has been moving higher long before the Israeli strike in Syria on the Iranian consulate. It's been moving higher way before that. Look at this. We've been moving higher way before that. Right? So I'm just, as we come into this, right, you finally get this pullback day in the market. So you want to ask the question, well, Mike, is this just a time to buy the dip, or is this a start of something bigger? I need to know the answers of the following questions. Is there a military conflict in the Middle East? Does Iran and Israel just straight up go to war? Because if that happens, this is just the start of something bigger. Does oil go to $115 a barrel? If that answer is yes, I think this is the start of something bigger. If the CPI number for March is also higher than expected, I believe this is the start of something bigger. But if the labor market holds up, and you got the labor report coming out tomorrow, where we're going to find out what's the new unemployment rate, but forget about the unemployment rate and forget about the amount of jobs that are added. Focus on average hourly earnings and hours worked, because average hourly earnings is what is really going to factor into those inflation numbers. And if you get a higher than expected hourly earnings number, I don't think the market's going to like that. I think the market wants to see a lower than expected average hourly earnings to help the market feel that the chances of inflation accelerating is very minimal. But if you start to see those average hourly wages start to really move higher, that usually goes hand in hand with those inflation prices. And that's when you get that wage price spiral and everything else, and things can get out of hand. And then inflation expectations could start to move higher. And then once inflation expectations move higher, then inflation moves higher to self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's not what the Fed wants, right? It's not what the Fed wants. But that's where I'm at. Okay? That's where I'm at. But then if you say, hey, if the March CPI number is under expectations, Iran doesn't do anything, and that just kind of just kind of dissipates, and nothing escalates, and nothing really happens. And if that's the story that unfolds, then this is most likely just a buy the dip scenario. So I don't have these answers, guys. Right? I don't have these answers. I wish I did. I'd be a trillionaire. Okay? I'd be a trillionaire if I had those answers. I would be the world's first trillionaire. If I knew the answers to those things, I'd be a trillionaire. But I don't have those answers. All I can do is say to myself, okay, what are the possible outcomes of scenario that I could figure out here based on these catalysts, right? And then based on that outcome, what's the market's reaction to it? And then have a very specific game plan on what am I going to do if this scenario happens, right? And then when that scenario actually plays itself out, if the CPI number is hot or cold, if there is an escalation or a de-escalation in the Middle East, if oil goes up or goes down, I know what I want to do. I know the areas of the market that I want to attack. I know the stocks that I want to be long. I know the stocks that I want to be short. I know the levels that I'm looking at. Because if inflation for March, which you're going to get, the CPI number is not tomorrow, guys. The CPI number is on Wednesday, April 10th. Tomorrow is the U.S. labor report. So if you get the U.S. labor report tomorrow, because I know the next question I'm going to get from people is, Mike, are we going to gap down tomorrow or are we going to gap up? Ask me at 8:31. Ask me at 8:31 in the morning. Because at 8:31 in the morning, I'm going to know what the U.S. labor report was. And if the U.S. labor report, if the labor market stays steady, but average hourly earnings are lower than expected, the market's probably bounce tomorrow, and you probably go back to test 515, 516. You probably go back and try to test that level again. But if you get a situation where average hourly earnings are way higher than people expected, or maybe you got this like much higher than expected jump in unemployment, then yeah, you could be printing 510, 509 tomorrow morning. So, with such a major catalyst like that coming out, I don't know if we're going to gap up or gap down. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend like I can predict what these catalysts are going to be. I'm not a psychic. As much as I would love to be, as much as I'm sure you would all love for me to be psychic, I'm not. All I can do is put myself in the best probability situations to make money from what's going on. Recommenda. I appreciate that. Recommenda says, Mike, you're explaining the market so well. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's important we have these conversations because I want you guys to understand what's going on. You know, I want you guys to understand what's going on. I want you to understand why the markets do what they do. I want you to understand, you know, what possible catalysts are out there and what are the possible scenarios and outcomes from these things so that you can be better positioned to make money from and you can make the right decisions. You know, sometimes you go on social media and you see these complete morons about why the market did this or why the market did that. And I'm like, you're not even in the same like vicinity. Like you're not even in the same visible universe of what's actually going on in the market with people that know what they're doing. When people try to make these like explanations and these statements and these claims about what's going on in the market, it just drives me absolutely batshit crazy when I see some of these things that you see on social media. So just please be very careful with where you get your information from. And I mean, listen, just because I'm on YouTube also, you know, doesn't mean just have a cool painting behind me. Doesn't mean you should just blindly listen to the stuff that I say either. Pay attention to the things that I say, you know, hang out on the YouTube channel and decide if you feel like I know what the hell I'm talking about or not. I can tell you I've been doing this for 18 years. I know a thing or two. Right? So I've seen it all. I've seen bull markets, bear markets. I've seen sideways markets, high volatility, low volatility, market rallies and market crashes, recessions and expansions. I've seen it all. So, but what I love is I love the uncertainty in this market right now. The market went from being very, very certain to just a whole hell of a lot of question marks very, very quickly. Very quickly. And that's what creates volatility in the market. The market gets volatile when it does not see clearly into the future. Okay. And I think that's some of the stuff you saw today. I think today was a big combination of technical profit taking that everyone's been waiting to take. They just needed a reason. And then you had Goolsby, Kashkari talking about maybe we get no rate cuts. And then you had obviously what's going on with Iran and Israel. Yo, Rhino, that's right, man. We do share the same birthday. Yeah, me and my boy Rhino, April 8th. My birthday's coming up in 4 days. Rhino's birthday is also April 8th. Hope you and the fam are doing well, bro. Yeah, I'll have a toast. I'll toast one to you too, buddy. I think I'm gonna bust out the Macallan Rare Cask. I think I'm busting out the Macallan Rare Cask on my birthday. Probably a rare cask, and then an Austin Hope Reserve for a cab. For my wine enthusiasts, if you guys are big wine drinkers, one of my favorites. Okay, if you're a cab drinker, one of my favorites. You will thank me later. Austin Hope. Austin Hope is one of my absolute favorite bottles of wine. If you like Caymus, Austin Hope is right there with Caymus. Caymus is like, $95 bottle. Austin Hope is around like $60. So it's a little bit cheaper than Caymus, but it drinks, oh man, Austin Hope drinks like a $200 bottle of wine. It is absolutely incredible. So I highly recommend if you're a cab drinker and like a nice full-bodied wine. Look at this. TTG, we're talking stocks, we're talking wine. What else you guys want to talk about here? Let's just talk about caviar and cheese and everything else. But yes. So anyway, I'm going to bust out the Macallan Rare Cask for my birthday, and I'm probably going to also open a bottle of the Austin Hope. Anyway, let's go back to what's going to make us money, not what we're going to spend money on. And that's the overall markets. Okay. So my target, guys, what I'm looking for is whether or not we get the follow through sell off tomorrow, I think is dependent on the labor report that we're going to get. So the labor report that we are going to get, if it comes in where average hourly earnings are actually soft, or they're kind of right in line with expectations, or they're a little bit under, and the labor market still shows that it's stable, I think you get a little bit of like an inside day. And I think you get the markets do something like this, and they try to like bounce back and try to like reclaim that 517, 518 level. But then I think that level then starts to act as resistance. Okay. Now, on the other hand, if you get a situation where average hourly earnings are a lot higher than expected, or maybe there's this big unexpected jump in unemployment, then I think you could see the follow-through momentum from today. And buyers do not step in and buy that dip. And I think profit taking takes us back down to that 508 level. And you can get down here and start to test this 50-day moving average, the dark blue line that you see on my screen, and then have the market settle in, right? Have the market settle right into this level and then do something like this, right? So have us drop right down into this level, settle in there, and then kind of bounce and just kind of sit there. Okay. So that is something that that's kind of what I'm thinking about as it relates to the overall market and the catalyst that we have coming up tomorrow. Then you got the CPI number on Wednesday, and then you have the start of earnings on Friday with some of your big banks. I think JP Morgan or Bank of America, some of the big banks start the earnings report on Friday for Q1. What I'm going to be listening to very closely. How do I know this is going to be the start of a bigger pullback, or if it's just a blip in the radar? The things I'm looking for, guys, are spread out over the course of like 2 weeks, okay? And those things are, do we get the escalation with Iran and Israel? Is the March CPI number on next Wednesday, is it hotter than expected? And do you start to see guidance misses and other companies, when you start earnings, do they start to say things like what Lululemon said about a softening consumer and light guidance, things like Nike said with softening consumer and light guidance, things like Lamb Weston said about a softening consumer and light guidance? Because if you start to get some bigger companies with larger market caps, with heavier weightings on the S&P, start to tell you the exact same thing these companies told you, then this could be the start of a much bigger pullback that would actually take you back down into, and I'm definitely getting ahead of myself, but it would take you back down into like the 480s, 490s, and you're talking about a pullback that takes you back into this region right down here if you start to see that over the course of the next couple of weeks. So it is entirely possible that today could be the start of a new short-term downtrend, or it could just be a buy the dip. I need to know what these catalysts are. So we're going to stick and move. We're going to look for the day trades over the course of the next couple of days. But once I start to get clarity on some of these catalysts, it'll give me direction. It'll give me direction for the market for not just a day, not just 2 days, but for a week or for 2 weeks or for a month. And then we can start sinking our teeth into some larger positions with some swing trades, and we can hold these positions for a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks, and really take advantage of an increase in volatility in this market. I hope for it. I pray for it. I love volatility. It is a trader's best friend, and it is why so many of our members have been able to do well and make money with True Trading Group. And that's exactly what's happening, right? Listen, the reason why people come on these live streams is to make money, right? The reason why you're interested in the stock market in general is to make money. But that's exactly what members of True Trading Group are accomplishing. And for those of you that are not members, I'll show you something real quick. Members, do me a favor, type the number 1 if you're making money and you're becoming better traders because of TTG. Just go ahead and type the number 1 if you're making money and you guys are becoming better traders because of True Trading Group. Just go ahead and type the number 1. Go ahead and type the number 1. And then anyone that actually does go and purchase a bottle of Austin Hope, if you try it, you need to message me on another live stream. You got to tell me how damn good it was and tell me that I was wrong. Okay? For those of you that are not members, pay attention to how many people are typing the number 1 inside chat. All of these people typing the number 1. These are not bots. These are your friends. These are your family members. These are your coworkers. These are your peers. If they can do it, so can you. They're not luckier than you. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more experience than you. They are able to do this because they're part of a community of traders that genuinely give a damn whether or not they succeed or fail. They are led by 8 professional full-time trading mods each and every single day. They've got access to the best trading tools that are available in this industry, and they're getting trained on educational material that is similar to what I was trained on when I worked at the fund in New York. That is why these people are able to be successful. Guys, how many of you, let me see how many people are on the live stream right now are not members. I'm curious to see if you're not a member. Okay. Oh, way to go, Jeff. Jeff is actually on course 3 right now. Way to go, Jeff. Keep it up, brother. You have any questions about anything, Jeff? Don't hesitate. Reach out. Ask the mods. Ask members in chat if you have any questions about the material. Guys, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, do me a favor and just type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG if you're not a member of True Trading Group. Let's go ahead and type TTG. Don't be shy. Pedro, that's all right. Pedro's not a member yet. Samir's not a member yet. Bernadette, James, Clifton, what's up, brother? Holloway, welcome back, man. Holloway, I remember you from the previous streams. I don't know why your name stuck with me. I think because it reminds me of Callaway, and I'm going golfing this weekend. That's why I think I keep remembering your name. We got Will Nunez. We got the Apple Mannies in the house. Tom Payne. Very nice. All right, cool, guys. So we got a handful of people that are here that are with me right now. Let me ask you guys this real quick. Johnny Gutierrez, you break my heart, bro. Johnny Gutierrez breaks my heart every day. Johnny Gutierrez breaks my heart. One of these days, Johnny. One of these days. No, I'm kidding, man. I hope you're doing well. So listen, guys. Woo! Way to go, Julie Hamilton. Are you kidding me? Julie Hamilton goes, guys, it's totally worth it. I 5x'd my account today with 0 DTE spies. Are you kidding? Holy crap. 5x your account today, Julie? That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I mean, listen, you had a huge move in the markets. Huge move. I think you had some of our members had like 1,000% gain today on some 0 DTE options because of how big of a move you had in AMD on the SPY. I know Diane, one of our moderator apprentices, Diane, actually had a monster day today, a couple of triple digits, and I think maybe even a 4-digit gain. I'm not sure. I attend your stream because your analysis is very close to actuals on most of my days that I have viewed. Oh, nice. Samir, listen, brother. Yeah, Samir, I'll tell you God's honest truth, brother. I'm not right all the time, right? I'm going to be wrong sometimes. I'm going to have red days, but I am right a lot more than I am wrong. And I've been doing this for 18 years. I've seen a thing or two. I know a thing or two. But I don't have a 100% win rate. Okay. Nobody does. Right. And I'll be the first person to tell you that being a good trader is not just being right all the time. Being a good trader is managing your risk in the instances that you are wrong and then capitalizing and maximizing your gain when you are right. That's really what being a good trader is really all about. So listen, guys, so Samir wants to know, how do I join? Let's do this. All right, guys, anyone that said you're not a member, here's what I'll do for you. Okay. Here, first, go to ttgoffer.com. That's ttgoffer, O-F-F-E-R, ttgoffer.com. Now, when you hit that page, you're going to see that the price of our annual membership says it's $1,212. However, use this coupon code I'm about to give you. It'll give you 48% off. So the coupon code, you have to manually type it in yourself. The coupon code is TTG121. So TTG and then the numbers 121, click apply code. The price will drop down to just $627 for the whole year. Now, everything you see on the page, ttgoffer.com, everything you see is included for the $627. You get our entire 22 course curriculum, which is a simplified and expanded upon version of the training I received working at the firm in New York. There's beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it, we got it. You guys have access to all of it. Okay, there are no special VIP courses that cost more money after you join. The $627 covers all of it for the whole year. You will also be getting access to our chat room where the mods and I share our screen. We're live with the mic. We're calling out trades. You'll also get our mobile app. We have 10,000 members in True Trading Group. 82% of them have full-time jobs. They work over 40 hours a week. The rest of them are full-time traders now, or they're just retired. Download the mobile app, iPhone or Android. Okay, it's free when you become a member. And that way you can stay connected to our chat and our platform throughout the course of a trading day. You will get through that mobile app real-time push notifications whenever our moderators enter or exit trades. So as our orders execute, you get push notifications sent out through the mobile app. All right. You can also listen to the audio analysis as the mods and I talk to you during the day. We share our screens with you so you can see the screen share on the phone as well, and you can participate in chat if you would like. Okay. You're also going to get access to the watch list. The watch list, the moderators and I give to you guys each and every single day. We tell you the list of stocks that we're focused on with detailed entry and exit prices, so you know exactly where we are focusing our attention before the day even begins. This way, there's no guessing. And you're going to get a video library that has over 1,000 hours of workshops and videos covering different topics that we've hosted workshops with different members in the past. We record them all and they are available to you. And then you can start attending these live. Now that you're a full-time member, you can attend them live if you would like. But all the previous ones that we've done, we do have a video library with all those different topics. You can go back and you can watch them if you so choose. Now, we also have additional tools and resources if you want them. They're not included for the 627, but if you want, you don't need these things. If you are a more serious trader and you want these things, we do have Benzinga Pro's newsfeed. We have TradingView's premium charting software, the Trade Idea Scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, analyst ratings, a trading journal, AI tools, a social sentiment scanner. All of that stuff is available on our platform if you want it for an additional $500. If you were to pay for that stuff on your own, which some of you might pay for that stuff already, you'll spend around $5-6 grand a year. Like just Benzinga Pro is like $1,000 a year. So you guys can get access to all of that stuff on our platform if you want it. So like if you already pay for dark pool data, you pay for Benzinga Pro, you pay for TradingView, you don't have to pay for that stuff anymore when you join our platform. You can pay the extra $500 to get access to all of those things. But the 627 annual membership does not include those tools. Okay, full transparency, just want to let you guys all know. Okay, so the 627 gets you access to the courses, the chat, the trade alerts, the mobile app, the video library, the watch list, our forum, our blog, and everything else. Okay, now the people that are not yet members, you might be a little skeptical. And I totally understand it. I totally get it. But if you're skeptical, I want to show you something. Members of TTG, do me a favor and type the number 1 if you were skeptical of True Trading Group at first and now your only regret is you didn't join sooner. Type the number 1 if that's you. And then for the rest of you that are not members, as you see how many of our members are going to type the number 1, I want you to listen to me carefully because I know I talk a big game on these live streams, but I back it up with my own money. Okay? I back it up with our own money and I prove to you how much we believe in this platform. Anyone that joins True Trading Group, we offer you a double your money back guarantee. This is how it works. You join, you pay $627 for the year. I ask you do the following. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. We do the study groups every Thursday. They're free. There's no additional cost. Do those 3 things. You have the whole year, so take your time, go at your own pace. You don't have to do this all within 14 days, some crazy, ridiculous task. Okay? If after doing those things, you are unable to make enough winning trades to equal the $627 membership fee. So if you can't make that back at least one time during your membership, we will give you back $1,218. That is double what you're paying to join the platform. We're going to give you that back for wasting your time. Now, I offer you that double your money back guarantee because our refund rate at True Trading Group is less than 2.5%. We're nearly 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 2,500 reviews, and we have a 78% retention rate amongst our members. So I'm very confident that you're going to want to renew your membership. I'm very confident in our platform's ability to help you guys reach your goals. All you need to do is go to ttgoffer.com. The double your money back guarantee, the refund policy, it's right there on the checkout page in black and white. Go read it. Yes, it is real. It's right there. There it is. Go read it. I'm dead serious. Double your money back guarantee. It's right there on the checkout page. Go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121 and click apply code. The price drops down to $627. If you have any questions at all about the platform, if you're having a hard time signing up, don't hesitate. Don't waste a second. We are there ready to answer your questions. Text us. The phone number is at the bottom of your screen, 1-888-306-8783. That's 1-888-306-8783. Text that number with any questions that you guys have. We will be more than happy to answer any of your questions, help you with anything that we can. Text that number, 1-888-306-8783. Otherwise, you go right to ttgoffer.com and then use the code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops down to $627. Check out. You're good to go. All right. U.S. labor report coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a doozy. CPI inflation on Wednesday, going to be a doozy. Earnings start on Friday, going to be a doozy. You have to make sure your ears are open about what's going on between Israel and Iran. These are all of the catalysts that could potentially come together to cause increased volatility in this market, to cause today's pullback to be the start of something much bigger. Or is it just a buy the dip blip in the radar? Those catalysts will make that determination for us. Don't try to sift through this stuff on your own. Join a community of about 10,000 traders that are led by 8 full-time professional trading mods and start putting yourself in a position to succeed and to make money. I can't guarantee you're going to be successful just by joining, but what I can guarantee is if you can make that 627 back at least once, we'll give you back $1,218. That we can guarantee. So go to ttgoffer.com, use the coupon code TTG121, click apply code. The price then drops all the way down to 627, check out, and then you guys are good to go. All right. And any questions, just text us 1-888-306-8783. I'm only leaving this coupon code valid, guys, until tonight. Okay. I'm only going to leave this coupon code valid until tonight, and the price is going up. All right. So that coupon code is going to be valid for tonight. So for those of you that are on here, or if you're watching the live stream after it's already aired, you guys have till midnight, and then that coupon code will no longer give you the 627 price point. So go ahead and go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121. Click apply code. Price drops to 627. Check out. You're good to go. That's it, folks. My TTG fam, if you're part of my accelerator program, we have our class session starts tonight from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern inside the study hall. So all of my TTG fam, that's part of my accelerator. I'll see you guys inside of the session starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're not a member, don't worry about what I'm saying. That doesn't mean anything to you. Okay. But if you're not a member, take advantage. Go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121. All right. That's it, folks. See you guys later. All right. Samir, yes, I did, brother. Samir, I did talk about tomorrow's move. I do have to go because I have to get ready for the accelerator session that I'm doing with our members. I did talk about tomorrow's move, Samir, but tomorrow you have the U.S. labor report. The U.S. labor report is going to be a major factor on whether or not the market bounces or continues lower tomorrow. So what I'm looking for at 8:30, that report comes out. At 8:30, I'm looking at average hourly earnings and average hourly wages. If it is higher than expected, and I mean like a lot higher than expected, or if you get some big increase in unemployment that was unexpected, then I think you continue to sell off, and I think you get down towards like 510 or so tomorrow. If the labor market is still stable and average wages are under expectations, then I think the market's trying to bounce back to like 515, 516 maybe. And I'll be live with members tomorrow morning to talk them through what the labor report was, and therefore what I think the markets do, and then where we're going to get long, where we'll get short, what we're going to trade. I go over all that in the pre-market session before the market opens. So I'm going to wait and see what all this data comes in at 8:30 tomorrow. The U.S. labor report, it's a huge report. A lot of people are waiting on this. We'll see what happens. It's definitely going to move the markets. My members, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. We'll trade it together. For those of you that are not members, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow after the day is over and I do my live stream, and hopefully you guys had good days and you took advantage of it. Some triple digit gains for us inside of True Trading Group today. It was a great day. Mods and members all over it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, folks. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on your notifications.